Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry this is almost a week late compared to when I said I would update, but I'm here now, and the reason why I didn't do a video last week is because last week I was spending time with my husband before he deployed on me, and unfortunately he's currently gone on his mission. And I miss him dearly. I really do. This is going to be one hell of a challenge in our marriage because we've never been apart for more than 3 weeks. And yeah, so he'll be gone, and I won't see him until next year. So yeah, that's been my life these past 6 months, to be honest with you guys. Like, I knew he was going to be deploying on me this month since Christmas of last year. I have known for that long that he was leaving. So I have had like 6 months of stress just building over time. And he's gone. He did make it safely to his destination. I do get to talk to him, just not as much as I would like to, unfortunately, because, you know, time difference. And of course, you know, he's there on a mission, and I'm unfortunately stuck here trying to deal with my critters and getting ready to go on my own adventure as well. So, to recap my past few weeks, I got put on a heart monitor because I saw my cardiologist for, well, she's a specialist. Let's start with that. And she says I'm a good candidate for doing a cardiac ablation. And now, you guys are probably wondering, what the hell is a cardiac ablation? Cardiac ablation is where they stick a catheter through your groin, and they run it all the way up until they get to your heart. And they zap these parts of your heart that cause your fibrillation or your flutter. And they cauterize it to prevent your heart from doing it again. Now, she's not sure whether or not it's the flutter that's causing my episodes or if it's the fibrillation. And, you know, they're kind of one and the same, but at the same time, they're really not. And the reason she wants to know the difference is because if it's the flutter, she can cure this. And then I won't have a heart problem anymore, which would be really, really nice. But if it's the fibrillation, then there's no guarantee of actually curing my problem. So it's a toss-up. If I were to do the procedure, she would do both a flutter and a fibrillation cardiac ablation, a cardiac ablation for both, and it would take about 5 hours for the procedure, and I'd have to stay in the hospital overnight. Now, she wanted me to do this before my husband left, and it's like, I just can't. I can't bring myself to do that, you know. I mean, what if I need care, extended care, past the time that he left, you know? So I'm trying to wait it out in hopes that I can make it until next year after he comes home and we're reunited. And yeah, I'm just, you know, fingers crossed that I can make it that long. And if not, I would end up going to my home state of Alaska, and I would end up doing the procedure there. So that way I have family nearby who can help take care of me. And I probably would remain there until it's time to come back. But, you know, this is all just talking right now as of current, you know. I'm not doing the procedure until he comes back because he wants to be there. Even though, yeah, it's boring to sit in a waiting room for a 5-hour procedure, but he would rather be the one to do it. And if he can't and I have to do it and be with my parents, then he understands, because my mother's a nurse and she's studying to be a nurse practitioner currently. So he knows I would be in good hands if I had to go home to go do the procedure. So, yeah, that's a huge deal, to be honest. So this week I've been just trying to stay busy. I've been writing a letter to my husband. I've been coloring him pictures. I decorated the house with red and yellow ribbons, and the symbol behind both of those is a strong meaning, especially within the military communities. For those of you guys who do not know, yellow is to support our troops. I know yellow ribbons stand for other things too, but within the military community, it is, strongly for supporting our troops that are deployed. So I've got yellow up to support my husband as he is deployed. And the red stands for remember everyone deployed. So I have both of those colors hanging up on my mailbox. I've got them wrapped around my tree in my front yard. I got it wrapped around a post out on my carport, just to show everybody around me, that I'm in a position where my spouse is deployed, and I am showing my absolute 220% support for all of those that are deployed, and praying that they all come back home, preferably alive. Because I know there are, unfortunately, families who do not have that luxury of their spouses coming home alive. Unfortunately, they come home in body bags and coffins. And I try not to think about that, just because, that's always a possibility with any deployment. But you always try to be positive about it and tell yourself that they're going to come home to you. I mean, one way or another, they're going to come home to you, and that you're going to continue living your lives together. And, that's just the kind of attitude as a military spouse that we were supposed to have. I know this is a rough spot for the deployed people, because usually, unfortunately, there are men and women within the military communities as dependents who will cheat on their active duty spouse while they're deployed. So unfortunately, this is something that a lot of people do worry about. Like my husband, he is worried about that, because that's just something that is unfortunately common that happens. And I'm not going anywhere. I am too skittish, to say the least, because I have been attacked by men in the past. I was in a domestic violence situation with my previous marriage, and yeah, it leaves a scar on a person from having to go through that and live to tell the tale. So I'm very wary of other men around me, because I usually keep a taser with me when I leave home. And even if that sucker ain't charged, it's a blunt object, and I will smack people upside the head if I have to. In self-defense. But yeah, I'm too skittish to even think about wanting to cheat. And my husband, even if I wanted to, my husband is so worth sticking around for. He's a very amazing and supportive person. He has helped me so much. He's helped change my life for the better in so many different ways. And I couldn't have asked for a better spouse, a better partner or friend to have by my side in this journey we call life. So, in all honesty, you guys, I would never leave him. I really wouldn't. I love that man way too damn much to even think about leaving him. Because of all the heartache that I've been going through since he left, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be sticking around for him because my heart truly does belong to this man. My heart is with him overseas, and I won't get it back until he comes home. And that's just how it is for me. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, you guys. I do apologize for not uploading a video sooner, but you know, I felt like spending time with him in those final moments, in those final days, was much more important than trying to post a video for you guys. So again, you know, forgive me, but you know, if you guys don't understand, then I don't know what more to say other than if you were in my shoes, you might actually understand why I did what I did. I would have filmed this earlier in the week, but I've been an absolute train wreck. You can ask some of my girlfriends on the base. I've been a mess in this whole journey. It's a new experience for me because I've never been through a deployment before. I've only been through what they call a TDY, which is where the active duty person goes away for training. And I've been through, like, gosh, 5 of those. I've been through 5 TDYs since I have been with him, and that even includes with the time that we've been dating. And so yeah, those are the only really experiences I have of being away from him. So again, like I said, the longest one I had was 3 weeks. So like this whole experience of months and not seeing him until next year, it's a lot to take in, and having never been through it, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of heartache. It's a lot of tears. And the one thing I have learned so far, and I know I'm just at the beginning of my journey, but this has been working for me so far. And it's my advice towards other people who are in my situation. So if there's any other military spouses out there that watch this, and you guys are getting ready for your first deployment or your first separation, even if it's a TDY, you know, my advice is this. If you're getting ready for your first deployment, or even if you've had a deployment in the past, I recommend having a journal to write in. Even if, like, you don't journal ever, just keep a journal for deployments. And if you do journal on a regular basis, get a special journal just for the deployment. So that way, you know, that is your deployment journal. And then you have a separate one for when you're actually together with that person. So that way they don't intermingle. It's just, I find it easier that way because I can look back at my journal when he was home, and I get to relive a lot of the experiences and happy memories that we have made together that are forever written in the pages of my journal. But with this deployment journal, it's very therapeutic. There's a ton of research out there that backs up saying journaling is a good way to help deal with your emotions and stress. So that's definitely something I would highly stress to anybody in this situation. Get a journal to write in. Write down as much or as little as you want, but the more details you put down, the better, because it's more therapeutic that way. The other things I have learned that help keep me busy and keep me distracted, aside from taking care of my dogs, is writing him a letter. And I mean, you can write every day if you want. You can write once a week and mail it. You can mail a letter every day, or whatever you guys decide to do. But write them a letter, because that way they have a piece of home. And I mean, if you just want to be plain about it, you want to decorate it, do whatever you can. And if you have little kids around, get them involved. Have them write a letter to the spouse that's gone, you know, be it their daddy or their mommy, brother or sister, an aunt or an uncle, you know. Have them write that letter to that person, because it'll really brighten their day, and it gives them a piece of home, and it, you know, it shows them how much they're truly loved and how much they're missed. So even if it's not much and it's a little piece of construction paper and the little kid writes like, I love you, and put their name, whether it's mom, dad, or whoever, you know, something like that can mean a whole lot to a soldier who's overseas away from home, you know. Now, I know not everybody's a big coloring person, but I like to color. So I am coloring pictures to mail to my husband. And even if he does end up watching this video, he's going to know, but he's not going to know the rest of my secrets. But yeah, color pictures, just because, you know, coloring is very therapeutic. It's very relaxing. It's stress relieving. And that's actually one of the things that was highly recommended when I was in the psych ward, is to color. They highly encouraged coloring because it was very stress relieving and therapeutic for all of us there dealing with depression, anxiety, and whatever our issues may have been. But for me, that actually really helped. I colored a lot while I was there. I did word search puzzles and normal jigsaw puzzles to help pass my time. And so I definitely highly recommend that if you guys are able to, if you guys want to. It's a good way to send something personal and custom to your spouse overseas. The only other things I can say that have helped me is, you know, make a plan for yourself. Because my plan is to send my husband a letter every week, and a care package twice a month. And with those care packages, when I send off a care package, I'm going to include my letter for that week in my care package. So that way he gets both the package and the letter at the same time, instead of possibly getting lost in the mail and never being seen again. The other thing I'm doing is I have a list on my phone of all the stuff that I'm going to put in his care package, so that way I don't have to scramble last minute. I can just be like, okay, these are all the items I'm putting in his box this time, and whatever doesn't fit can go in the next box. So, you know, try to think of things like that that are personal or funny, or even if it's an inside joke between you and your spouse, send it. They will surely appreciate it. I mean, I haven't sent my first box yet because I'm waiting until after payday to send out my first box. And I'm mailing my first letter on Monday. So, yay, I'm excited. But yeah, these are just some of the things that I have learned. And again, I haven't been on this journey very long, but these are the things that have helped me out. And the only other bit of information I can say that works, and even though it sounds cheesy, you may not want to do it, you may not feel like doing it, it actually really has helped me. And that is talk. Talk to somebody. I have so many people in my corner that actually care about me. I mean, I'm not even joking with you guys. You know, I have my best friend in Virginia, my best friend that I made here on the base. I have some other ladies I've met here on the base that are very supportive for me. My key spouse is very supportive for talking to. My husband's commander's wife, she's been a great support because she actually came to visit me in the psychiatric unit when I was there in April. And me and her, we had a really long talk, and she's very supportive. I got her information so I can talk to her whenever I need to. One of my husband's sergeants, he's super supportive of me. One of my husband's tech sergeants, who's overseas with him, she's super supportive as well. The commander himself is supportive. I've met the first sergeants, and they are beyond supportive. I mean, give you guys a quick example here. I was trying to put my firearm within the armory on the base that I live at. And I was being denied keeping my weapon there. And it's like, well, I don't need it stolen from my house, you know? And with all of that, I ended up talking to my husband's sergeant, who ended up talking to the first sergeant. And the first sergeant came down on the people at the armory, giving them shit for telling me that I couldn't leave my weapon there. And once that whole situation got cleared up and figured out, he called me and he's like, you know, you can go and store your weapon there now. They're not going to have an issue with you doing it. And it's like, really? I can't believe they even did this. I had no idea that his sergeant even spoke to the first sergeant about this situation. And it really blew my mind. It really amazed me how supportive these people are. They really do have my back. Anything that I need. I mean, crying out loud, the wheel on my trash can broke from when the people came through yesterday. I don't know how it broke, but it broke. And his sergeant came out this morning in the freaking heat, even though it's 103 out, and he sat there and he fixed the wheel on my trash can. I mean, it's not completely fixed because it's missing a piece, but it's at least fixed enough for me to get through until next year or whenever I need the trash can to be functioning. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who are super supportive and who are there for me if I need them. So that is, like, if you guys don't do anything else for getting support, talk to people. There are so many people out there who really and truly do care about you. And the more people you have in your support network for talking to, the more support you're going to get, the more feedback you're going to get, the more you're going to have that comforting feeling and getting that reassurance and being reassured that you are strong enough to get through whatever journey you're trying to go through. So even if it's not the same journey as mine, even if, like, my viewers, you guys, if you aren't military, even if you're not, and you have your own journey that you're trying to struggle through, the more people you have in your support network, the easier it is to cope and get through whatever you're trying to do. And that is the best piece of advice I can leave you guys with. So I've let this carry on for too long. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will be back next week. And just keep on being strong. That's all I can say for you guys, is just be strong, be courageous. You guys are much stronger than you think. And I'm not even just trying to say that to, like, support, just be supportive. I'm also saying that for myself, because there's moments I don't think I'm strong enough to get through things. Like, I don't think I'm strong enough to get through this deployment, but I am. I am strong enough. And let me just dispel one thing real quick. Military spouses are not a strong breed of people because they're born that way. They are strong because they are made to be that way. Because the military forces you to go through all of these stressful situations, and they make you stronger when you come out the other side. So I hope y'all are doing well. I hope this video at least helps some person out there, whoever that may be. So I will see you guys next week, and just drop a message down in the comments and let me know if you're willing to share what your journey is that you're going through that is a challenge for you right now, you know. And like I said, I'll see you guys in about a week. Bye.